Hola a todos los que están sintonizando este canal de Justa Revolución. Estamos haciendo una revolución en contra de la oscuridad y del mentiroso de mentirosos, o sea, del chamuco, el diablo, Cristo lo reprenda y nosotros también. Ahora vamos a escuchar a un invitado de Arizona, a nuestro hermano Aldo y a su esposa, para que ellos nos confirmen una y otra vez de la existencia real del Yeshua HaMashiach nuestro.
Amén, amén. Bueno, pues quiero comenzar con esto, que eso pasó hace ya un poco de tiempo, hace 38 años más o menos.
So I'm going to share something with you that's happened for a long time ago, about 38 years ago.
Y siempre digo, bueno, ¿puedes recordar cuál es tu memoria más lejana?
And I can, I'm always asked, or I always ask people, hey, can you remember your oldest memory?
Cuando eres un niño todavía.
When you were still a child or a young kid?
Pues yo te puedo decir con seguridad.
And I can tell you with certainty.
Que yo sí recuerdo mi memoria más lejana.
But that I do remember my oldest memory.
Porque pasó y fue tan impresionante que nunca lo olvidé.
Because it happened and it was so impressive that I've just never forgotten.
Nosotros vivíamos en Guadalajara.
We lived in Guadalajara.
Y cuando yo tenía apenas 2 años.
And when I was just 2 years old.
Tuve un sueño.
I had a dream.
Que fue divino.
That was a divine dream.
Y déjame te cuento lo que es.
And I'll tell you what it was.
Yo estaba en mi sueño.
In my dream.
Yo estaba en una cuna.
I was in my little nursery.
Que estaba lejos de la cama.
That was far away from the bed.
Y yo estaba en contra de la pared.
And I was backed up against the wall.
Y yo veía hacia unas puertas dobles.
And I saw in front of me 2 different double doors.
Que si las abrías.
So that if you open them.
Es un pasillo.
There would be a passageway.
Y pasando el pasillo.
And then right across the passageway.
Había un patio.
There was a patio.
Esta casa era un duplex.
This house was a duplex. There was upstairs and downstairs.
Nosotros vivíamos abajo.
We lived on the bottom floor.
Y unos tíos vivían arriba de nosotros.
And some aunts and uncles lived above us.
Entonces este patio era de acceso largo.
So this patio it had a large access.
Eran bastante altos esas paredes.
The walls were extremely tall.
Cuando yo estoy en este sueño durmiendo,
so when I was in this dream sleeping,
abro mis ojos,
I opened my eyes,
las puertas están abiertas,
the doors were open,
de par en par,
they're completely open,
y yo puedo ver el pasillo y el patio.
And so that I could see the passageway and the patio.
Y conforme estoy viendo el patio,
and as I'm looking at the patio,
veo una figura,
I see a figure,
vestida de blanco,
dressed in white,
con un manto cruzado,
with a mantle crossed over him,
y su rostro,
and his face,
resplandecía,
was shining.
La mejor manera que puedo explicar,
the best way I can describe it,
si tomas una cámara,
is that if you take a camera,
y la apuntas al sol,
and you point it to the sun,
donde puedes ver la luz,
to where you could actually see the light,
no te quema los ojos,
but it doesn't burn your eyes.
Pero tampoco puedes definir la forma.
But you also really can't understand and see the form of what's there.
La definición del rostro.
The definition of the face.
Porque su rostro era luz.
Because his face was light.
Y era incandescente.
And it was incandescent.
Pero no lastimaba.
But it didn't hurt.
Y conforme esto está sucediendo, empieza a descender.
And so while that was happening, it begins to descend.
Hasta que toca el suelo.
Until he touched the ground.
Y en ese momento yo despierto.
And in that moment, I woke up.
Y obviamente la primera cosa que quiero hacer.
And obviously the first thing that I want to do.
Es decirle a mi mamá.
Is to tell my mom.
Pero obviamente soy un niño de 2 años.
But obviously I'm a kid of 2 years old.
Y no sé hablar muy bien.
And I don't know how to speak very well.
Y le digo a mi mamá en la manera que yo puedo.
So I tell my mom in the way that I can.
Vino Cristo.
Jesus came. Christ came.
Y me dice, ¿qué?
And she said, what?
Vino Cristo.
Christ came.
Pero no lo dije así, dije.
But I couldn't say it well.
Y me molesté y le dijo, vino Dios.
And I got so frustrated and I said, God came.
De allí se bajó y allí se paró.
He was there and he came down.
Y para mí eso fue la experiencia que tuve.
And for me that was just the experience that I had.
Me di la media vuelta.
I turned over.
Y me volví a dormir.
And I just went back to bed.
No recuerdo qué pasó al día siguiente o esa noche.
I don't remember what happened that night. I don't remember the next day.
Porque era un niño.
Because I was a child.
Pero eso nunca se me olvidó.
But I've never forgotten that moment.
Y por mucho tiempo pues obviamente no sabía el propósito.
And as a kid I had no clue what the purpose was.
Y para contarte del propósito pues tengo que pasarle el micrófono.
And to tell you what the purpose actually was, I'll have to let the story take over to my mother.
A mi mamá.
A mi mamá.
Bueno, pues
exactamente lo mismo que mi hijo siendo un niño pequeñito vio,
Exactly what my son, being a little child, saw.
yo también lo vi,
I saw the same thing
al mismo tiempo,
at the same time,
en el mismo lugar,
in the same place,
en el mismo momento,
in the same moment.
durmiendo yo solamente con él a mi lado.
While I was sleeping with just him by my side.
Él ya les dijo que era un lugar muy alto
He already told you guys that it was a place with really high ceilings and walls,
y estaba muy frío.
and it was extremely cold in the room.
Mi esposo no estaba con nosotros
My husband at the time was not with us,
y yo lo pasé de su cuna a mi cama,
and so I grabbed him in the night from his nursery to my bed.
porque él siempre era un bebé muy calientito
'Cause he was always a child that was warm.
y queriendo estar yo confortable y calientita cerca de él,
And so when I wanted to be comforting to my son and to get warmed up by him,
los dos tuvimos la misma experiencia.
the two of us had the same experience.
Yo estaba soñando que venía una luz enfrente de mí,
I was dreaming that a light came in front of me
a la derecha arriba.
from up above, to the right and above.
Era una figura celestial brillante
It was a divine figure that was shining,
y estaba en un círculo de luz.
and it was surrounded by a circle of light.
Entre el techo y la pared,
Between the ceiling and the wall,
posiblemente unos 3 metros de altura,
maybe about 3 meters tall,
se movió a través de la recámara,
the light and the figure moved to the side of the bed,
de la derecha a la izquierda, y se paró al lado de donde dormía mi hijo.
from the right to the left, and it stopped where my son was sleeping.
Y él me dijo,
And he told me,
mujer, ¿por qué no respetas a tu marido?
"Woman, why do you not respect your husband?"
Yo azorada miré a aquella figura que hablaba conmigo con tanta autoridad y tanto amor,
I was surprised by this figure that spoke with such authority and so much love,
que al momento de recordarlo,
that at the moment of remembering it,
estremece mi corazón y mi vida vuelve a vivir ese mismo momento.
my heart started jumping and pounding, and life was running through me.
Y yo recuerdo que traté de mirar ese rostro
And I remember that I tried to look at his face,
y es como mirar 1000 soles al mismo tiempo.
but it was like looking at 1,000 suns at the same time.
Podía mirar la figura dibujada de un pelo hermoso
I can see the figure of like a drawing of beautiful hair,
a los hombros,
of the shoulders,
ligeramente ondulado,
coming down to the side, wavy down to the side,
y de un color amarillo trigo.
and like a blonde color.
Y estaba con luz saliéndole de su cara.
And it was like light was coming out of his face.
Una túnica blanca resplandeciente,
A really shining white tunic.
y yo podía ver que no había costuras en su hombro.
And I could see that there wasn't anything coming down from his stitching coming down from his sleeves and his shoulders.
Y tenía un manto de su hombro izquierdo hacia su cadera derecha,
And I could see a mantle coming from his left shoulder down to his right hip
de un color rojo preciosísimo.
of a precious, precious red.
Y él, cuando dijo esas palabras,
And when he said these words,
audazmente yo le contesté, sí, Señor, sí lo hice.
I had the audacity to say, "Yes, Lord, yes, I am."
Pero él me dijo
But
de
no, I'm
nuevo,
not. But then he told me after,
no, mujer, no lo respetas,
"No, woman, you are not respecting your husband.
respétalo.
Respect him."
Pero era la impresión tan grande
But it was such an impression
que mi corazón empezó a latir con miedo y temor santo,
that my heart started beating so fast with fear and with holy fear.
porque estar tan cerca de un Dios tan poderoso
To be so close to such a powerful God,
te hace sentir que no puedes resistir la gloria de su
it makes you
presencia.
feel like you can't resist the glory of his presence.
Y en mi sueño yo traté de despertarme,
And in my dream, I tried to wake up
porque la presencia de su regaño tan amoroso y tan autoritario
Because the presence of his admonition to me with such authority and so much love,
era, no podía yo negarlo,
I couldn't deny it.
era de verdad.
It was the truth.
Yo era una mujer rebelde,
I was a rebellious type of woman.
yo era una mujer autoritaria,
I was an authoritative type of
yo
woman.
era una mujer contenciosa,
I was a
Contentious.
contentious woman.
pero del despertarme
But when I woke up,
me senté en la cama
I sat up on the bed
y yo sentía que mi corazón se salía del pecho
and I felt like my heart was just coming out of my chest
y yo no podía respirar
and I couldn't breathe
y yo no podía dejar de temblar,
and I couldn't stop shaking.
pero yo trataba de justificarme a mí misma.
But I tried to just start justifying it to myself.
Fue un sueño,
It
fue
was
un
a dream.
sueño.
It was a dream.
Solo fue un sueño.
No, it's okay. It was just a dream.
Pero en ese momento mi hijo se mueve al lado mío
But then at that moment, my son next to me starts moving
y me dijo, mamá,
and he says, Mom,
vino, Quito.
Jesus came or Christ came.
¿Qué, hijo?
What, son?
Quito, vino, Quito.
Quito came.
No te entiendo,
I
hijo.
don't understand you, son.
Dios vino.
God came.
De allí se bajó,
From there he was,
de allí se paró.
and there he stopped.
Y se volteó y se durmió.
And he turned around and just went back to bed.
Dios mío, fue cierto, perdóname.
And I said, God, Lord God, it was true, forgive me.
Y empecé a llorar
And I just started crying.
y empecé a decirle,
And I began to tell him,
tú sabes todo,
you know everything.
conoces todo de mí,
You know every part of
no te
me.
puedo mentir,
I can't even lie to
tú
you.
conoces mi corazón,
You know my heart.
perdóname,
Forgive me.
gracias por corregirme.
Thank you for correcting me.
Y estuve muy largo tiempo
And it was a very
Pidiendo
long time
perdón.
of me just asking God to forgive
y
me.
pidiendo perdón por mi esposo,
And asking God forgiveness from my husband.
porque yo herí su corazón muchas veces.
Because I had hurt his heart a lot of times.
Y yo ofendí al Padre
And I came to the Father
porque yo negaba la efectividad de su palabra,
because I neglected his word.
donde dice que las mujeres debemos de someternos a nuestros esposos.
Where it says that us as women should submit ourselves to our
Y
husbands.
yo no entendía
And I didn't understand
que al lastimar a mi esposo,
that hurting my husband
lastimaba a un hijo de Dios,
was hurting a child of God.
que él era también su padre,
That God was also his father.
y que yo ofendía a uno de sus hijos
And that I
amados,
offended one of his loving sons.
y ofendía el sacrificio de Cristo,
And I offended the sacrifice of
que también
Jesus.
había muerto por mi esposo,
That he had also died
y la
for my
sangre de
husband.
Cristo
And the blood of
lo había
Christ
justificado igualmente.
had justified him just
Y
the
yo no
same.
entendía
And I understood.
que el padre de él
I did not understand that his father
era mi suegro,
was my father-in-law,
pero también era mi padre
but he was also my father
y mi Dios,
and my God.
y que un día
And that one day
yo le iba a dar cuentas de ello,
I was going to bring accountability of this to God.
pero en su misericordia
But through his mercy
y en su amor
and in his love,
me corrigió como hija
he corrected me as a
y
daughter
no como a bastarda.
and not like a bastard.
Thank you,
Y
Jesus.
yo puedo decirles que al día siguiente,
And I can tell you guys that the next day,
cuando mi hijo despertó,
when my son woke up,
yo le pregunté, hijo,
I
¿quién
started
vino
asking him.
anoche?
Que no,
Son,
que no
who
se te
came?
olvide lo de la cortina.
Y me dijo él, Quito,
And he said, Jesus,
Quito,
Cristo.
Christ.
Christ. Y él le dije, ¿Cristo?
And I said, Christ?
Yes,
He said, yes.
Quito.
Christ. Because obviously as a child you can't say it, right?
Digo, hijo, ¿y cómo era?
And I said, well, son, what was he like?
Bonito.
Beautiful.
Y tenía camisa como tu papá.
And he had a shirt like your dad?
No,
No.
vitiro.
He was like in a dress.
¿Y de qué color era?
And what color was it?
Y él buscaba por todos lados
And so he started looking all around.
y señaló el mantel de la mesa,
And he pointed to the tablecloth
que era blanco.
that was white.
Y tenía también saco y chamarra o suéter.
And he had on like a jacket or a coat?
No.
No.
Y fue a la cortina y él dijo, como este.
And the little boy, my son, went up to the curtain and said, no, like this.
¿Dónde? Y él dijo, allí, allí.
And I asked him where, and he said, right here, right here.
Exactamente como yo lo había visto.
Exactly like I had seen him.
Y le dije, ¿blanco también como el mantel?
And I said, black or white, just like the tablecloth?
Y dice, no.
And he
Y
said,
él
no.
buscó como buscando el color y señaló la tapadera de la mayonesa que era roja.
And he started looking around to find what it was, and he found the mayonnaise, the lid, and he started pointing to the lid of the mayonnaise jar that was red.
Thank you, Jesus.
Los dos vimos lo mismo.
The two of us saw the same thing.
Cristo vino,
Christ came,
no me amonestó
he admonished me,
y me enseñó
and he taught me
que me corrige antes de que peque,
that he corrects us before we sin,
para que no sigamos pecando
so that we don't keep sinning,
y para que corrijamos lo que está mal en nuestra
and so
vida.
that we can correct what's wrong in our lives.
Porque abogado tenemos para con el Padre,
Because a lawyer we have towards the Father,
a Jesucristo el justo.
who is Jesus Christ the just
Y
one.
yo soy como Tomás.
And I'm like Thomas.
Cuando Cristo, estando todos los 12 encerrados,
When the 12 of them were
no
together,
lo creía.
he didn't believe it.
Él tuvo que mirar a un niño
He had to come to a child
para enseñarle lo mismo que yo estaba viendo.
to show the same thing that he was trying to
Porque
show
él
me.
sabía que yo no le iba a creer.
Because he knew that I wasn't going to
Yo
believe.
iba a justificarme que había sido solo un sueño.
I was going to justify it that it was
Pero
just
él
a
vino a
dream.
visitarnos.
But he came to visit us.
Y esa noche
And that night,
me transformó como esposa.
I transformed as a wife.
Y yo empecé a respetar a mi esposo.
And I began to respect my husband.
Y yo le pregunté al niño una vez más,
And I asked again to my son,
¿qué te dijo?
what did he tell you?
Naya,
Nothing.
¿qué te dijo?
What did he tell you?
Naya.
Nothing.
He just smiled.
He just smiled.
Y ese es el testimonio.
And that's the testimony.
Que educó a una madre
That he educated a mother,
esposa.
a wife,
rebelde y a una madre incrédula.
rebellious and doubtful,
Y a una mujer desobediente a su palabra,
and a woman that was disobedient to his word,
usando un niño inocente.
using an innocent child.
La gloria toda sea para Dios.
All the glory to God.
Yes. Justa revolución. Gracias, Jesús.
Yeah.
Nos vemos a la próxima.